because when you talk about being out here in the community, every day you come face to face with the reality of the depth of the dysfunction that is in our neighborhood. So they're out there every day, door to door, touching the people and, trying to turn the people on to life's possibilities. One of the biggest deficits that we see in our more challenged neighborhoods is people don't really understand all of life's possibilities. So what they do is they succumb to the environment in which they have been raised in. So that's the time in which we live. The number one effort in our society today must go towards outreach. We cannot sit back as we traditionally have done for too long and allow people to live in isolation, allow people to live detached from information and from resources. So here at Better Family Life in the Community Outreach Department, we understand that that's the time and we must begin to shift the paradigm. One of the other thrusts that we have going on right now that we are very, very blessed and very, very fortunate to be a part of is the Neighborhood Alliance Clergy Initiative called The Pulpit to the Porches. We believe that we must begin to invest, we must begin to reinvigorate, we must begin to change the culture in our more challenged neighborhoods. As a city, we cannot move a step towards redeveloping downtown and not deal with the pain and suffering that's going on in our neighborhoods. We should not talk about building a stadium when we have people being shot and killed every day. So we are looking at how do we begin to change the culture in our more challenged neighborhoods. Jeff Vanderloo, Hyde Park, the Horseshoe, Murphy Blair, O'Fallon, Fairgrounds Park, Walnut Park, the Shaw neighborhood now. We have some very serious problems in our neighborhoods. So we've turned to, and we are turning to, the institution that is most present. The institution that has the strongest presence in every neighborhood, and that institution is our church. See, when you look at this neighborhood, if you go from Page to Martin Luther King, from Union to Goodfellow, you have over 20 churches embedded in the neighborhood. Over 20 churches. We are looking to reposition the church back into its rightful leadership position in our more challenged neighborhoods. When we came through the time of slavery, it was the church that provided the strength of our people coming out of slavery. Even during slavery, it was the church. Moving into Jim Crow, segregation, once again, our community turned to the church. During the Civil Rights Movement, it was the church that gave birth to that movement. Here, today, in 2015, we are in crisis right now of epic proportion. It's not a small crisis. This is major. We have a major problem in our neighborhoods, and the church is in a position to deal with that crisis like no other force. The police can't solve this problem. The police can't solve it. School teachers cannot solve this problem. Police are part of the solution, but they're not the main part of the solution. School and education is a part of the solution, but the schoolhouse is not the most important part of the solution. The businesses in our neighborhoods, they have a role to play. We need economic development in our neighborhoods. But the principal player as we look to transform our neighborhoods is the church. So we're happy to have the whole pulpit to porches program going on right now. Right now we have over 80 churches that are a part of this model. Yeah. We have over 80 churches that are a part of this model. We are going to have a training today. We have over 90 people scheduled to be here today from 1 to 3 so that we can give them the necessary outreach training to go into these neighborhoods. Now, when the church volunteers, when the church outreach crews go into these neighborhoods, the church is going to look to meet their spiritual needs. Everyone has spiritual needs. But what Better Family Life's role is, we are working with resource providers. We have over 82 resource providers that have said, after the church touches the people, we will help the people who have that need drug treatment. We will help the people who need utility assistance. We will be able to help the people that need a GED. We will be able to work with people here at Better Family Life that need employment. We have someone that can deal with prenatal care. We have resource providers that go all the way to the St. Louis Area Agency on Aging and the AARP. So we have the resource base of organizations that are already in place to help people as the church does its outreach. We're excited about this model. We believe that as this model expands, we will be able to change the culture in our more challenged neighborhoods. I was talking with a pastor yesterday. The pastor said, Mr. Clark, we've already begun to do the outreach, and we had a young girl to come to our church, walk into our church, and told one of the deacons that she was being molested in a house right down the street. Now, how many other young people live in homes? How many other young people live in homes? How many adults live in homes within walking distance or rock throwing distance of a church, but do not look to the church as a resource? Single mothers in our neighborhoods who have young boys, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, that they can no longer control. Mama, I don't want to do that. Mama, I ain't doing that. I ain't coming in when you say come in. They should be able to say, come on, boy, let me walk you down the street to the church and let me let one of these deacons talk to you. The resources there for our mothers that are having problems with their children academically. They should be able to walk the child to the church, and there should be a tutor at the church in the neighborhood that can help the boy with his homework. See, for families that need utility assistance, they should feel comfortable walking down the street, because the church is in walking distance in every neighborhood. They should feel comfortable walking to the church. So here, we're not trying to reinvent the church. We're just trying to return the church to its leadership, its rightful leadership position in the street. When you look at it, we're all Christians. We subscribe to the teachings of Jesus Christ, right? There's a lot of controversy about him. Did he have dark skin? Did he have curly hair? Did he really drink all that wine? Or was it not wine, it was really water? Did he change water to wine? Was he married? Did he have a brother? So there's a lot of questions about who Jesus was, what he stood for. But the one thing that's not controversial at all is what he promoted. And the biggest thing that he said, without dispute, was the work of my Father is not in the house. The work of my Father is in the neighborhood. So we're happy to be able to reinvigorate the church and give the church the resource base that it needs to be real partners with people in our more challenged neighborhoods. So we have a lot of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of activity going on right now. But I would be remiss if I did not talk about the single most important issue that we collectively face, and that's this issue of gun violence. See, it's out of control. It's out of control. Let me give you two examples. I got a phone call from a man on Wednesday. Mr. Clark, people out here trying to kill me. People are out here trying to kill me because they think I have some information that I'm going to take to the police. And they want to kill me, Mr. Clark. I don't leave my house because they live in my neighborhood. And they've told people in the neighborhood to let me know when we catch them, we kill them. It's real out here. It's real. I got a call yesterday as I was leaving from an officer of the St. Louis City Police Department. Mr. Clark, I know you heard about the house that got shot up, St. Louis Avenue. I know you heard about the shooting that occurred in the car with the kids where one young man was shot. The house that was shot up was his house. The young man that was shot on Wednesday, his brother was killed yesterday. And it's all kind of tension and all kind of friction in that neighborhood right now. See, and family, let's just look at it. That's just one. That's just one such scenario. There are thousands of those scenarios playing out in the St. Louis metropolitan area, to include St. Louis County and East St. Louis right now. There's a large availability of weapons, and there are a lot of angry people frustrated about life's circumstances, and there's not enough outreach to address the issues. We've got to have a presence in our neighborhoods. We've got to be vigilant right now like never before. We cannot play with this thing. See, this issue does not get better on its own. This issue of the human decay and the lack of opportunities in our neighborhood that has created this problem does not cure itself. It does not cure itself. It only gets worse. We have got to begin to move towards changing. We've got to begin to do the work necessary right now. The hour of doing nothing is over. The hour of analyzing this problem has passed. Our hour of just sitting back trying to ignore it, we cannot move forward. We as a people, as African American people, we cannot take another step in any direction until we deal with this issue that we kill each other every day. We can't talk about nothing else. We cannot pass this on to another generation. We can't. We cannot say, well, listen to this, we're going to continue to kill each other and we're going to let the next generation solve it. We can't. We've got to draw a line in the sand right now and say, we got to stop killing each other right now. See, I have a lot of respect for our Jewish brothers and sisters. A lot of respect for them. Because after the Holocaust, they said this will never happen to us again. They were clear. They came together and said this will never happen to us again. And they mean that. It is time for us as a people. It's time for us as a people to say, moving forward, we will never kill each other again.